Very bold move introducing Tina as the main character.
Yeah.
The blood scene with Johnny Depp gets sucked into the bed. Someone got electrocuted, though.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Movie Wars podcast. I'm Kyle.
I'm Seth, and
I'm
we've got
Marianna.
our favorite back, Marianna Barksdale.
Woo! Our
Give it
horror
up.
expert.
Absolutely.
That's me.
Yeah.
I'm
Stand
a
up.
horror expert.
Stand-up comedian. And since last time, I would actually add actress to that.
Yeah.
Because you're starting to get some work, girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. I keep forgetting that. It's all coming out in like January now, though. So
Nice.
I don't know if I feel.
Keep an eye out.
Yeah. You don't have to give away what it is, but you're getting booked, and
Yeah.
it's awesome. And you deserve it. But
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Booked and blessed. And I do want to be booked on a horror movie in case anybody wants to write one for me.
Keep that in mind.
Nightmare on Barksdale Street.
Speaking of,
Perfect.
As a quick reminder, the way the show goes, we do film history. We're going to do randos, which are the most interesting facts we uncover during research. The questions, which are questions that we write that generate comedic banter or good conversation around the film. And we finish with rapid scorecards, which we call the War Zone. So that's how we finish out our approval or disapproval.
woot woot.
We are doing, man, lately, Seth, the schedule has been so Kyle-friendly.
You're welcome.
For a minute there, it was very not Kyle-friendly.
I like to stretch you, but sometimes we got to put you back in your comfort zone.
All the Superman shit, all the Snyder, I just blah. And I thought we were done, and then we had Dustin Chafin on. I was like, Superman Returns. I'm like, oh my God, we're back again.
And it made him miss the Snyderverse. So.
And it did, and it actually did. We are doing a Nightmare on Elm Street, and I think it's such an important film for as cheesy and inconsistent and not really great act. Like, there's so many things you could say, but it's weird that you can say all that, but also say this is a very important film.
Well, when you compare it to the other genre type films of the time, and I'm specifically referring to like Halloween or Friday the 13th, this comes out so far above all the others. Because there was definitely an era of those indie horror movies where the acting was never great, the music was never great, the story was just good enough that it kind of kept you going along, but really you were just there for the blood and gore and the special effects. I feel like as, mid as the acting could be, which some of that I feel like is just on the fact that it was ADR'd and it's very hard to do ADR for a low budget. I still feel like this sits above all of those other movies, especially as the origin for a massive franchise.
Yeah, what do you think?
Oh my God. I'm obsessed with horror and like very messed up horror. I know.
I had no
You
idea.
didn't just put out a list of 100 great horror movies.
Not only that is like, there's nothing popular on that list either. Like, not really.
Midsummer's popular.
Yeah, that's true. There's a handful. But no, this is actually, I will say this. I did not want to watch this movie.
Really?
Oh, really?
And I was so just turned around. It's amazing. It's one of the best horror movies I've ever watched. I actually couldn't sleep at night.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
It was so, it's not that it was like perfectly executed. It was like, it like got into my psyche and like twisted everything around, you know?
Yeah. No, I feel that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really, and we'll just jump right into film history. There's a lot of foundational stuff, like actual real experiences that led to the making of this movie. But I think there's two very simple things at play that make this movie very successful. First of all, it's basically hanging its hat on the cornerstone of all natural fear, the boogeyman, bad dreams.
Yeah.
It's like, if you want to go to horror movie 101 or just I'm scared about life in general, those are the things.
Yeah.
And then iconic central figure to it. And it's kind of coming out in kind of in the middle of the evolution of the slasher, right?
Yeah.
The slasher had weird elements. Like, there's a couple of movies in the 60s and the 40s, like some international films, and then Psycho.
Yeah.
Halloween really is the one where everyone says timestamp that the moment slasher modern kind of came into the world.
Yeah. Friday the 13th came pretty shortly after that.
Yes.
It was still the 70s.
And then we get this loud talking, freaking jokester slash really menacing Freddy.
Yeah.
And it's wild, but there's a couple of experiences. So Wes Craven, one of the reasons, so his star was rising.
Was this? I was about to say, what other projects had he done before?
I believe The Hills had hot eyes, and the last house.
The Hills were high.
The Hills were high. Let me double check.
That's us if our last name was Hills.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
These hills are high.
Yes. Yeah. I believe that the last The Hills had eyes, and The Last House on the Left had already come out. Let me
So he was already doing horror before he did this.
Yes, and then shocker. Oh yeah, and this is where they call him the Prince of Horror or whatever.
Okay.
That's his nickname, which I actually kind of detest a little bit. Yeah, The Last House on the Left came out in 1972. Like, wow, way before this one.
Yeah.
The Hills Have Eyes in 1977. Swamp Thing in 1982.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and which a lot of people don't like Swamp Thing. I really like it.
It's still a pretty foundational monster movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's hard to get funding for stuff like this back then, though.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it took like years. In sci-fi, anything weird,
Yeah.
it was really hard to get funding.
That's why it was really big in the indie scene, because
Yeah.
it could look like shit, and still, if you had a decent story, or if it was actually scary, like, people would still come and watch it.
Yeah. Yeah, and there was a story from his childhood. He said he looked out his window and a man in a hat was just kind of standing there in front of his apartment and staring up, and he like got real wide-eyed and like freaked him out. He said it never left him, and there's all this stuff in the news about like this kid that was like having dreams. There was that element of it. Like there was stuff in the news that was really inspiring, and so his star is rising as a horror director and writer. So, and then the producer, the guy that founded New Line Cinema, Robert Shea.
Yeah.
Okay.
He put all of his money on the line for this film.
Nice.
And you know, they call it today, and I was joking with Seth before, he's such a Lord of the Rings fan. Without this movie, there is not New Line Cinema, at least for Lord of the Rings, because it's
true.
They call it the house that Freddy built, because basically what they say, and there's an amazing documentary, top 3 movie documentary called Never Sleep Again. I rank it second to Heart of Darkness, which is the documentary about Apocalypse Now, and then it's right above the one about Friday the 13th, which is also an incredible film documentary. But they talk about it like anytime New Line Cinema, and this is way before Lord of the Rings, anytime they felt short of cash, they're like, can we get another Freddy out there, because we know we're going to make some bank.
Yeah.
And so that's part of the reason why there are so many of them.
That makes sense.
Yes. And so, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff behind this movie about, you know, kind of why, you know, I think it's a $1.8 million budget. And yeah, those are some of the kind of foundational pieces of this film.
That makes sense, actually, because that would be still considered a kind of low budget for the 80s, but it's just enough that's why the special effects were as good as they were, but also low enough that you're not gonna get a Jamie Lee Curtis. You're barely getting an introducing role for Johnny Depp. Like no one knew who he was at that time. So that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
They almost had Charlie Sheen though.
They did.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He wanted $3,000 a week.
Yeah. They couldn't afford him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
But he was a big deal.
I think he would have taken away from it, honestly. I think it worked out perfectly.
What's crazy is if a famous actor of that level asked for $3,000 a week now, I'd be like, done. That's
easy.
Nothing.
That's easy.
Yeah,
With inflation, that's like $8 billion a week.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, you're so right, and there was a lot of like cast, like the guy that plays the sheriff, you know, her dad is the most like famous actor, and throughout the whole series, I think he was kind of miserable. He's in a lot of these movies, and I think
so it keeps happening in that town.
Yeah,
and he keeps getting involved. That's interesting.
It constantly comes back to Elm Street and these parents, and they find ways. Dream Warriors is almost universally agreed upon, not just to be the best, but one of the best horror movies ever made.
Okay.
But number 3, Dream Warriors, it takes it kind of to a different realm. That it like it's this formula but on steroids.
Okay.
And it's really good. It takes place in a mental facility. And a lot of these kids are having dreams about Freddy in this facility. And some of them are addicts, some of them have all these different issues, and he's using that stuff against them
I
in
wish
dreams.
I'd seen that one.
It's so good.
Oh my goodness.
Number 2 is considered one of the worst ever made.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched the documentary.
Yeah, it's also deemed like a piece of homoerotic film history.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, but not on purpose. It just kind of turned out
accidentally.
Yeah,
We'll actually talk about this next week, but the same thing in probably a different way kind of happened to the Babadook.
Yeah, I only got on surface level. I can't wait to hear that because
that's a funny story.
Yes.
Yeah. Speaking of, next week we're doing the Babadook. Come back.
Babadook. Babadook. It sounds like a didgeridoo.
Or like a Mongolian throat singer.
Oh yeah. Sounds like yoga.
Oh, that's really good.
Thank you.
I feel like I'm in yoga.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel very relaxed.
Yeah. Boom. I would say the biggest thing that I didn't mention was that the producer, Shea, didn't want to just be a financier. He's like, I'm putting my life on the line, all my money, and so he wanted to be very involved.
Okay.
So him and Wes Craven they had a lot of falling outs on set. They went back and forth, but they both acknowledged in the documentary at the end of the day they both had equal stake.
Yeah.
Because for Craven, it was like, yes, the star was rising, but it wasn't so much so that he couldn't fall out of favor.
Yeah.
And for Shay, it was like, all my money's on the line. I'm going to be involved. And ultimately, they both agree that it was for the betterment of the film.
I mean, I agree. Because, yeah, like I said, you've got plenty of other movies coming out around that time that just were not good. But when you're so dedicated that your entire life savings is put into this movie, you're going to sit there and make sure it's something people can watch.
Yeah. And go ahead.
Not to mention his house, his house was on the line. And I feel like his suggestions for the movie did make it better. I liked their collaboration on it. And I feel like sometimes producers do help the storyline because sometimes directors kind of get so in the weeds. It's hard to see it from the viewer's perspective.
100%. The producer-director relationship is so important, which I feel like that's why Marvel was doing so good for those first 23 movies because, you had a bunch of different producers, but Kevin Feige was the guy. And with every single director, he wanted to be as involved as he possibly could because he knew what the overarching vision was. And I think you see between like the DCEU at the time and everything Marvel was doing, you had a lot of different people on very different pages. We're even down to like between Aquaman and Justice League. They didn't talk. So in Aquaman, they're all talking in water as opposed to in Justice League, they make the air bubble around them so they can talk in air. Just because no one was communicating on what Atlantis was supposed to look like.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So when you have that one producer who has the overarching vision in mind and can rein the director in or free the director up and be like, you're not going far enough. Go further. Let's see what we can do. That relationship is so important.
And then there's other producers where their job is to do the coke.
Yeah.
And shit on all the people behind closed doors.
And just get the money.
And,
Get the money, shake the hands.
Yep.
Yeah.
And do the coke.
And do the, obviously.
Yeah,
Gotta do the
mountains of coke.
Mountains of coke. That's actually the side name for this movie.
Yeah.
No. And one of the funny things about some of the film history, now that I'm remembering some of this stuff, like Bob Shea was kind of the guy that pressed Wes Craven about how to cast Freddy Krueger because in his mind, I think Freddy Krueger was going to be an older guy and look older and but he was naturally looking for older actors.
Yeah.
And what was funny for Wes, and he admits that he felt kind of stupid for this in retrospect, that he kind of was like, I don't know why I cared what the actor looked like. We were going to just do makeup.
Yeah.
And so, but Robert Englund's star was rising because he was cast in a show called V. Yeah. And he actually has more of a Shakespearean background, but the show was taking off. And so that's where he kind of got his. And I think Bob Shea was the guy that says, have you thought about Robert Englund? He's like, he's too young. And he's like, there's going to be makeup and a mask. Like, it doesn't matter.
Make him look older.
Do you really need a 60-year-old guy to like do this? And so there was some of that, like you were talking about some of the decisions that were made. That was one of the really big ones.
Yeah. Sometimes producers are a good thing.
And I would say Englund is probably one of the most beloved Comic-Con.
Oh, yeah. I've heard nothing but good things about him from Comic-Cons.
He's incredible, and I almost got him on the show once, and he literally, the only reason is just because he was on the Comic-Con circuit and just didn't have time to say, hey, reach out again a year later.
Oh my God, do it again.
I will. I'll try. He's apparently really nice, and he really loves the fandom. Like, you know how some people, like Peter Weller, like I'm a big RoboCop fan, and Peter Weller recently has re-embraced the RoboCop thing, but I think during the 90s, I think he got a little tired of it.
Yeah.
England's never been tired of it.
Yeah.
It's like, imagine like the guy who played Leprechaun. Can you imagine?
Oh my God.
Can you imagine if he got tired of it? It's like, dude, like you're lucky to have been Leprechaun. All right.
Was that Timothy Olyphant? Or not Timothy Odmanson?
Is that a little person?
No, he's an actor.
I was talking about the Leprechaun.
Yeah, the movie. Yeah,
the Leprechaun's played by a little person.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen it. I know that Timothy Odmanson
I think
is
it's
in
Warwick.
I didn't remember who he played.
Warwick is his name?
I can't remember.
Warwick Davis?
Maybe.
Did he play Leprechaun?
Maybe.
Oh, okay.
I think it's Warwick.
Yeah.
Something War.
Yeah, because he was in Willow and Star Wars and Narnia.
I think it is him.
Willow.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Leprechaun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love it when an actor fully embraces their thing. Like even though he's a Shakespearean trained actor, like he's never in interviews but like, oh, well, Freddy's below me.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, he embraces it.
Yeah. And even though like Elijah Wood has gone on to do some crazy indie roles, he's always coming back to Lord of the Rings. He knows that this is what made him. He would have nothing else without Lord of the Rings. So why would he not embrace it?
Yeah, and I think it's a horror thing too. I think you'd speak to this deeply because it's your genre. But Kane Hodder too, who's even though he actually hasn't played the most Jason Voorhees characters, he's the most beloved.
Yeah.
Like when they decided not to cast him for Freddy versus Jason, there was a huge outcry from the fan base. And he, in the documentary, was super pissed about it, too.
Yeah.
Like, do you think that's a thing? It's like, if you're going to do one of these kinds of movies, like specifically this subgenre of horror, that's got to be part of the game.
Oh, yeah.
You got to be ready to like be beloved and be at the Comic-Cons and...
Yeah, well, I mean, it's all the subtlety in the role itself. Like when they were talking about in the documentary about like Freddy and like how he walks and his stature and how he stands and just the little like poses and things like. Then in the second movie, they got an extra to do it, to be the guy. I don't understand like why unless you were saving so much money, like I don't even understand how that you could justify that to the fans, honestly.
Yeah, there was a big reckoning after 2. Like they realized that there was something that they missed the mark on a lot of the things that people loved about the first.
Yeah.
And so
it just seems insane.
They recalibrated.
Yeah.
Was Bob Shea involved in 2 in the ones afterwards, or was he just really with 1?
He eventually did. I think he stayed with New Line because it was his company, but I do think he became less hands-on.
Okay.
And eventually, I think, is it 4? It's either 4 or 5, but eventually Wes Craven starts to only write or produce, and he stops directing as well. Okay. Yeah, so
I mean, there comes a point where you've done 4 of them. You're just like, all right,
yeah.
I mean, that's why Villeneuve is only doing 3 Dune movies, because he's like, there's like 7 books, but I just want to make 3. I just want to do that. They can continue without me and use the style. That's fine, but like, there comes a point where you got to move on.
And
he's like, I'm tired of sand.
Yeah,
I'd be tired of it too.
I don't like sand.
I've got sand in my boots.
It's coarse and irritating and sandy.
Well, and you have to chase the history down all the way through, the late 90s to kind of get or actually into the 2000s too, with the Freddy versus Jason. But there was a commercialization that occurred with Freddy that also, I think, kind of got away from Wes Craven.
Yeah.
Because he had the TV show.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
He had a TV show. Now it's like almost like Tales of the Crypt.
Yeah.
He's not in them, but he like hosts them. Freddy does. He hosts. It's not violent either. It's like PG-13.
Yeah.
There's a soundtrack.
Yeah.
There's a Freddy CD that he does, and it's like him rapping.
Huh.
It's Freddy literally rapping. There's
why?
That's why when Wes Craven came back for New Nightmare, which is my favorite one.
Yeah.
But a lot of people hated it. But it was one of the first like super meta movies. Because the people are playing like Heather Langenkamp and Wes Craven and Robert Englund are also playing themselves in the movie.
Oh.
Have you seen it yet?
No.
It's all about like
this is my first time seeing any of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's all about like the foundational elements of making a Nightmare on Elm Street, and like the whole element of that movie is that like the movie takes on a life of its own, and Freddy becomes real in their minds. But Freddy comes back to torture Wes Craven, and it's really good, and it's amazing. It's really meta. It's super meta. But I think the reason Wes Craven made that and Scream is because he saw this franchise go from this 1984 beginning entry to this hyper commercialized, like some of the later entries, they're watchable and they're fun, but they are not scary.
Yeah.
And they're so overly comical.
Yeah.
And it gets so far away from the horror element. Like I could go off through numerous scenes of like Freddy's dead.
Yeah.
But the one last thing I didn't say that I did want to say is that there's something about these movies that I have a memory of. I wish I would have opened with this, but I don't know if you two felt this, but horror slasher films specifically at the video store, like my parents didn't care what I watched, but for some reason we just never rented these. They literally did not care what I watched. It's a huge problem. But I remember I would always just run to the back of the store of block. We had Aardvark Video. That was our Springdale, Arkansas.
Was Arthur the logo?
It was. It was an Aardvark. Yeah, and it looked like Arthur, like a knockoff. Like imagine a hillbilly drawing.
His name's Artie.
Amazing.
And I would run to the back of the store and I would just look at the covers of Texas Chainsaw and all like Freddy's Dead. I think it's the 6th one where it's like 3D movie cover and his claws out.
Yeah.
I always just sit there and stare at it. I just run every time I go to the video store. It's like, I want to watch that.
Yeah.
And so I have that kind of connection to these movies, like just that mystery of like, I can't watch these yet, but someday I will. Yeah. And so huge connection to him for that. But maybe you've been having a lot of nightmares.
Maybe you've been stalked by a man with knife fingers in your dreams.
And slashes his nipple open and weird wormies come out. That's a problem. And it's because you didn't listen to Movie Wars.
It's true.
And you didn't share it with your friends.
Yeah. Old pepperoni face came and got you.
Yes.
Harrison Ford is offended for you.
Yes. Harrison's back.
Harrison's deciding if he wants to join us or not.
Yeah.
So if you don't want to die in your dreams and you don't want to watch Heather Langenkamp try to act anymore, then share Movie Wars.
Yes.
On to the randos. Oh, I had to really focus because so many interesting things. So one of the most interesting things to me about this, you mentioned the poses earlier.
Yeah.
What he says word for word in this documentary, silence. One of the things he says in the documentary is that after they built the glove and he put it on, he said it had a weight to it. He said it was kind of heavy.
Yeah.
And his disposition, he kind of like just naturally slouched.
Yeah.
And so he was like, kind of like a Western. And he said the reason he walks around kind of like leaning is because that weight. And he's also like, I kind of felt like a gunslinger.
Yeah.
And so he wanted his claw to kind of feel like a holstered weapon.
That's cool.
So that's why, like, when he walks around, I just love it because you can watch a slasher movie. And if you watch, like, Michael Myers, I'm sure, like, the actors that played Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees had something going through their mind, like, oh, I'm going to do this. But this was the first slasher besides, like, Psycho where there were actual acting choices that had to be made.
Yeah.
And there's all kinds of these things, but he wanted to feel like it was a Western with his pose.
I mean, that definitely makes sense. And it's like, there are things I could criticize just in general about the portrayal of the character, but that was something I did notice, is that when he wasn't running, there was that kind of otherworldly weight pulling him down on the one side. And it definitely adds a layer that I don't think people really understand, but subconsciously, if it wasn't there, you'd know something was off.
Yeah, I love that choice so much because it does remind me of Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
And I love old Westerns because, like, I don't know if anybody appreciates Westerns the way I do, but, like,
all of
really
my pictures as a child are me dressed up as a cowboy.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Y'all
cute.
keep talking, I'll find them.
So cute. We'll insert them into the podcast. We could pick.
Yes.
Yeah.
And one thing Craven said is, like, one thing they didn't know what they were getting into with hiring Robert Englund was they said he revels in being the villain. But yeah, they didn't know that, like, they're like, oh my God, like, he likes being Freddy.
Yeah.
Like, he revels in it.
Well, I will say, since I only seem to get cast as, like, a bad person, it is so much more fun to be a heel. And like, you know, that's like a wrestling term, but like, I can imagine being the bad guy in like a horror movie just being like the most fun thing to do on earth. So.
I mean, I feel like most actors want to play a memorable, iconic villain at least once in their life.
And it's the interesting character too.
Yeah.
You know, it's the one with the problems. It's the one with the solutions. It's the one with the, you know, it's the good, that's the fun one.
100%. I mean, even Christopher Lee, who was typecast most of the time as a villain, like when he auditioned for Lord of the Rings, he auditioned for Gandalf. And literally Peter Jackson was like, bro, I brought you in here because I wanted you to play Saruman. And he almost said no.
Oh, wow.
But then he was like, fuck it, I've met Tolkien. Yes, I'll play Saruman. I've met him. I'm gonna be in this movie. Fine.
So
and
fun.
he ended up saying it was probably the best, like his favorite role he's ever played. Yeah. And it's like, even after getting typecast so many times and wanting to be the hero, he kind of just realized there is, in a lot of ways, more depth to being this flawed villain.
Yeah. You know, it's funny, you run it like there. We just covered Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and there was some very real nature to Al Pacino when he's talking to Leo's character about, like, oh, that's what they start to do when your career's over. They start to make you the bad guy and the heel. And it's funny, there really is a decision you have to make. And the person that we've covered recently that it worked out for the best was Denzel in Training Day.
Yeah.
They did not want him to play that role. Like the NCAA, was it NAACP?
Yeah.
They were like, no, like you're our good guy. Like you know, you're our strong black actor.
Model.
You're a role model. And he literally, and during interviews, like, I'm gonna do whatever I want to do. I'm Denzel Washington.
Yeah.
He says, if I want to play this, you know, and then
he won the Oscar.
Yeah. Yes. But there are some actors that when they get into those roles, it is hard for the viewer to view them as a not bad guy.
Yeah.
And that happens. And so, but for Englund, it's not a problem.
Yeah.
He's like, I love this. Let's make 97 more of these.
And he's so sweet in interviews too. Like he's just such a lovely person.
Cordial. Yeah. And when he's playing himself in New Nightmare, he's real fun as himself. Because he's like, he basically, I don't want to spoil too much since you haven't seen it. I recommend you watch it. It's really good.
I'm going to watch it tonight now.
But he's talking to Heather Langenkamp, and he's like truly frightened about like Freddy, like in like the space he's taken in his life. as the character he plays. And he portrays that really, he's scared of his own character really well.
Yeah.
It's so meta.
Wow. So cool.
It was meta before meta. This is a really wicked rando. So the guy that did the makeup for this movie, David Miller, does that name sound familiar?
Kind of.
He did the makeup for the Thriller Michael Jackson, which is probably, in a lot of people's minds, maybe still the best music video ever made.
Yeah.
Like,
so good.
just for its place in history. And the way that you said pepperoni face, this is how he came up with Freddy Krueger. He ordered a pizza, a pepperoni pizza, and he just starts like swirling around the toppings and messing around. And he actually made it. This is what he says. I didn't watch him do it. He's swirling around the ingredients. He literally shapes it and he's like, that's Freddy.
See, Mom, sometimes it is good to play with your food.
Play with your food. Yeah.
Create the most iconic horror character ever.
Yeah. If it was you, third in the back,
we see you.
England's in makeup. He literally gets a medical textbook and just starts flipping through third-degree burn victims. He's like, this is what we're going to do to you. And he's just showing, and England's just like, like he's not expecting it. And Miller's just like, we're going to do this to you. And during the documentary, he shows him the book, and it's just blisters and open wounds. And I'm just like,
This reminds me of my childhood, honestly.
Yeah.
Because my dad he was a pathologist, so he would I'd go to his office and he'd have skin cancer out. Off of people. And I'm like, this is probably what it looked like from the makeup. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. I know. Well, I wear a lot of sunscreen now.
Yeah. Yeah. The makeup over the course of the series gets more intense and it gets more burny, and it's really wild in New Nightmare.
Yeah. They changed the color of his eyes too, which I don't really appreciate.
Yeah.
I didn't like that.
I think it's interesting too, like when he does the weird thing where he flips his shirt up and cuts his pec.
Yeah.
Is no burns at all.
Yeah. That was a weird choice to me.
I thought there were burns.
It was like he had like
it's a little
soot.
enough.
It's soot, but no burns.
Huh.
Great nipples.
It was such an interesting choice of where, because honestly, I feel like he should have cut his entire chest open.
Yeah.
And it should have been more.
Probably money.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Just a little.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know that's what I do when
that
I
makes
get
so much
like
sense.
if I'm about to get in a bar fight, just
Yeah.
Just cut the nipple off.
don't fight. Back
in
off.
Game of Thrones.
Back off, bro. I can inflict pain on myself. Yes.
They run away and you're just like,
oh, I need 7 stitches and a whole bottle of vodka. Last one. I love this rando because sometimes I think today, because we just kind of take it for granted because of the grandiosity of today's film environment and like
the word.
Grandiosity.
Yeah, I like
grandiose. It's crazy, but during this time, and this is why I love covering movies that are older, because there's all these issues and production problems, and they got to figure out how to use $1 million and stretch it out across the entire film. I love that. And so, but Johnny Depp's an unknown here, right? He's an unknown.
Introducing Johnny Depp.
Yeah. But Wes Craven doesn't want to cast him. They want Charlie Sheen, $3,000 a week.
Which you can tell based on his hairstyle, they wanted Charlie Sheen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Speaking of Charlie Sheen right now, I'm going to read his book on vacation next week.
Yeah.
And I'm enjoying these interviews with him after
Same.
he's gotten back to normal, I guess.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Like, I want to go back and watch all of his films now.
What a character arc.
Yeah.
I know. I love that.
What a story.
Cheering for you, Charlie.
Yeah, good job.
Tiger Blood. But the way Wes Craven decided, and you might have seen this in the documentary, he walks up to his daughter because he's trying to get a gauge of like what the girls would want to see, you know, the teenage girls. He's like, he looks pale, he's sickly, and his daughter literally goes, "No, he's beautiful." And he's like,
Johnny Depp?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, "No, Johnny Depp is beautiful."
Yeah.
And he's like, "What?" And so that's how he made the decision. He literally thought he was pale, sickly, gross looking. And I have a question for this later, but I'm just watching this and I'm asking myself, it's like, is this the future star? You know, it's like, I'm trying to put myself, and let's save it for the question.
Yeah.
But I'm like, going back in time to 1984, am I watching this? I'm like, this is going to be one of the biggest things ever.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll answer it, but this is wild. So anyway, those are the 3 most amazing randos, but if you haven't watched Never Sleep Again, it's 4 hours. I had to break it up in pieces, but it is, even if you think the other version, the other entries in this franchise are laughable, it's still worth it to know about the politics of New Line Cinema and the things in the CD that came out.
How they made the room.
Yes.
The room with the blood.
That was insane.
Let's just talk about it then. Like that's one of the ones I knocked off. For you, filmmaker guy, like They did a lot of crazy stuff. That room,
no shit.
The way they did the blood scene with Johnny Depp gets sucked into the bed is it was upside down.
Yeah. No, I gathered that. Yeah.
And I didn't notice it the first time, but then I watched the documentary and then I saw it because you can see the blood swirling away.
Yeah.
Someone got electrocuted though.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
The guy that was pouring the blood because it was gallons and gallons and gallons and it hit the light because it was upside. They turned the whole room upside down. Yeah. And then the water started turning the room, like it started shaking. Yeah.
It started to tilt.
I did notice that because, you watch it and the water starts going, the blood starts going off to one direction. Because, I mean, so did they do the same thing when she goes up the wall and on the ceiling?
They did.
Rotated. They
Same
did the
exact.
whole Danny Kaye, or I guess Fred Astaire dancing on the, okay, that makes sense.
That's exactly what they know. That's what they noted.
Yeah.
Really, Fred Astaire.
No, there's so many good, especially for the time, but even like some of that shit holds up today. Like when he comes out of the wallpaper.
Oh yeah.
And he's like leaning over the bed and then goes right back in. Like, oh my God.
And then he comes out of the sheet.
Good. Yeah. That was good. Or when even pulling her down in the bathtub was one of the most obviously it's like I know how they did it, but it's like that was one of the most baffling moments for me. It was like, holy shit, that was so seamless.
I had such a visceral reaction to the bathtub scene. That was the scariest thing. I was like hyperventilating as she's like gasping for air. I'm like,
it's because it's a very real thing. So before being doxxed, was the biggest fear you could have in your life, or having the wrong opinion online was the biggest fear. Drowning in the bathtub was a very real thing.
Oh, yeah.
They used to tell it was a thing like before we had all this other shit to distract us like podcasts.
Don't fall asleep.
Following the wrong person.
Yeah, not falling asleep in the tub was a very real thing, and like don't because you drown and and so it plays on that fear, and that scene is so good.
It's so good. It's terrifying.
Genuinely shocked there wasn't more nudity in this movie because
very tame
for the time. Like both.
Well, they're children, aren't they?
Still, even in like Friday the 13th, there's tits everywhere.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's like for the slasher movie of the 70s and 80s, I was very impressed that they didn't go that direction.
Halloween.
Yeah.
The original Halloween.
Yeah. Lots of sex.
Now, I forget about that. Yeah.
Now, Rob Zombie basically turned it into an orgy, but what were you going to say?
Yeah. Nothing. I like that they didn't do that.
Yeah.
Because I love the main character in this movie so much. I'm obsessed with her.
Which I got to say, very bold move introducing Tina as the main character and then ripping it around by killing her.
I know. And oh my God. That was the most fun part about watching the movies, being like, she's not the main character.
Yeah. Like that was such a twist for me. I was like, what? And then it's like, oh no, actually, this is the main character.
Yeah.
That was super cool.
Yeah. Lots
of really cool subversion of expectations throughout this movie. And I think that's why I like it so much more, especially than Friday the 13th, is even though I know that was kind of the first general like cabin in the woods situation that they'd kind of done. I guess Evil Dead might have come out around the same time. It just, everything felt predictable about that story.
Yeah.
Even now, 50 years later, 40 years later, this surprised me at every time.
Yeah.
And I loved it.
It was like the way that they even structured the movie, it's almost like it just kept putting you off.
Yeah.
Like you were just off kilter the whole time. No, even little things, I think that's why it was so successfully scary.
Yeah.
Despite like some things not being, like the arms thing at the beginning.
Yes.
That kind of, I was like, oh no, this is going to be bad. Just because I feel like they could have, I do have a theory that you could recut and rescore this movie and make it terrifying.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You really could.
The score, I think, is the weakest part for me.
Oh,
because I can even get past the mid acting. The score is terrible.
It dates it a lot.
Is it the Freddy score or is it the electric guitars? Like, because
it's all of it.
That
really,
for
it's
me.
every piece of music I just did not like.
Because they show the composer making it, and when you just hear the intervals on the piano, it's creepy.
I like that part.
Yeah.
I'll put it this way: if the same guy who had done the score for The Thing had done this, I think it would have been way better.
Yeah.
Because it's just I don't know. I honestly think something a little off, like an electronic score in the 80s, would have made this better.
Yeah. I will say though, the 80s was so overwrought with that too.
Not by 82 though.
You don't think so?
That would have been at the beginning.
Yeah, I guess it felt like by 88 you were like everything was like listening to like she drives me crazy. It's like
Like an organ.
Yeah. The questions.
The questions.
Oh, these are going to be fun.
Here we go.
So these are going to feel like just cliche, but that's what this genre deserves. Who are you taking? Are we taking Jason, Michael, Freddy, Chucky, Candyman, or Leatherface?
So the only ones of those that I have seen involve Michael Myers, Freddy, and Jason, and even the one I saw, Freddy or Jason wasn't even in it.
Yeah.
So honestly, at this point, yeah, Freddy's actually the most terrifying of all of them for me, at least the ones I've seen. I don't know. There's just as scary as Michael Myers, the idea of him was, I don't think the execution was quite as good.
Mm-hmm.
The idea of him being able to go into your dreams, that is the scary part. Cause yeah, it's like, she was like, yeah, the record is 11 days. I'm at 7, so I'm fine. It's like, no, at some point, really by day 5, you're going crazy.
Yeah.
You're actually going crazy. She never would have had like a sound enough mind to keep up with daily life like she was. So yeah, the idea of going to sleep and being attacked, that's worse for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, Freddy's terrifying.
Yeah.
Jason is also terrifying and Leatherface as well, but out of all of those, I think Freddy is the scariest.
Yeah.
And I actually got to go to this haunted house in Alabama once where they could touch you. And I got taken by Freddy into this room. And I was like,
Wow.
And I was like 15 15 years old. I'm like, this is not
that's not
appropriate.
I would have punched some people.
Yeah, it was fun. But I can't remember the other. I feel like I missed one.
Chucky.
Voorhees, Michael Myers, Chucky, Candyman, Leatherface, or Freddy.
Oh, and I'd just like to point out, Michael Myers I've never thought was scary. And I've never found Halloween
It's
movies
just an
to be
inside-out
successful.
William Shatner mask.
Yeah. And then Candyman, I love.
Yes.
I was just like, I don't know why.
A different take on the slasher thing, but those are very cerebral. You could, I guess you could toss in too. We didn't say Pinhead.
Oh yeah, Pinhead's great.
Pinhead
Still
gets kind of
Hellraiser.
Pinhead's amazing.
Those are
that's a fun one.
Those are horrifying.
Yeah.
They're gorier than all these.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's real fun.
Like it's disgusting.
Yeah, like
But-
kind of Event Horizon-y.
Okay. Yes. It's
With the deleted scenes. Sorry.
Yeah.
When I get really excited, I get tongue tied.
I read the short novella.
Oh my God.
The Hellborn Heart. That's what it's based on.
Oh yeah, I have that.
Yeah.
I haven't read
Do you
it
have a
yet.
physical copy?
Yeah, I do.
That would be awesome to have.
I can bring it next time.
Oh, I would love to see that.
I'll bring it. Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
I have it in my bookcase.
I struggle here because you've heard me be a movie snob. I don't know if you picked up on this about me, and it's something I struggle with about myself.
It's funny. You're a snob, but you have some of the worst taste in movies I've ever seen.
On one hand,
But so do all good movie people, right?
we all have blind spots.
Yeah.
What are your blind spots? Think about it. Like I
Leave it in the
will
comments.
preach about Taxi Driver to you
Yeah.
and Goodfellas
Yeah.
and There Will Be Blood, and I will just like beat you over the head with those.
But then RoboCop's your favorite movie.
Yes, and then I will do an Arnold marathon twice a year, or I will just watch. Seriously, when October comes, I have this thing. I will pick one of these every year. I pick a different one. I will just rewatch. Like last year I rewatched every Friday the 13th.
Nice.
Oh my God.
Yes, I know it's weird, but we all have them. I think we all, and you can. I'm an easy target for it because I'm so vocal about it.
Yeah.
So this is actually very hard for me because I can tell you the worst is Chucky.
Yeah.
I can tell you, and that's
Sorry, Mark Hamill.
You can kick him over.
Does he play the voice?
Yeah.
God, his voice career is somehow more prolific than his acting career, actually,
Yeah.
in so many ways.
Yeah.
He's the
Because his face was too well known as Luke Skywalker, he had to find other means to not be typecast as different roles.
And hot take, if it wasn't for Heath Ledger, I think you could argue he's the best Joker.
It's still Cesar Romero for me.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why he's on my arm.
Chucky was great in one, but everything after the first Child's Play movie is a horrible
I
Chucky.
couldn't even watch the first Child's Play movie. I tried, and it was so bad.
Well, it's actually kind of creepy. I think it's
didn't find
creepy.
it creepy at all.
I could see it being creepy.
Here's the thing. I'm gonna go. We covered all the horrifying aspects. I'm gonna go to lore for my answer just to add some illumination.
Okay.
I think Freddy has the most consistent lore.
That's good to know because
Yes.
with a concept like that, it could get squirrely.
Yes, it does, and they do dance around it, but it always ties back to dreams and nightmares.
Yeah.
Jason, have you seen all the Friday the 13th?
No, I
Okay.
haven't. Yeah.
I've seen them all multiple times. They just literally came in and were like, we're not going to regard anything that's ever happened in this franchise. We just know Jason's scary as hell and he just kills people and he doesn't say anything.
Lovely.
So we're just going to be like, maybe he is a zombie or maybe he's an entity or maybe and they just, and Michael Myers also has by the time they get to Michael Myers 6 or to Halloween 6, it's like, What? He's born of a cult? It's like he's now the bloodline of a satanic
This is why
cult.
I don't watch them.
Yeah. Which was Paul Rudd's first big film. Was Michael? I think it's 5 or 6. Halloween 5 or 6.
Really?
He's really good in it.
Okay.
And it's a very good one. It's horrible, but it's very violent and it's very good.
Nice.
I just said all the different things in the same
You're
sentence.
like, it's horrible and it's great.
I'm literally working this out in front of you, though. I think my favorite to watch on screen is Jason.
Yeah.
Okay. So I just enjoy his menacing quiet, but I still think Freddy's lore is better. But Leatherface to me is the scariest.
Yeah.
Because he's the most real. He's not like, an entity. He's not like a ghost or an apparition.
He's just a dude.
He's wearing other people's skin.
Yeah.
He's inbred, which makes him very close to me being an Arkansan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
in
all-
Alabama. Oh my God.
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, doesn't it kind of feel like you watch this? Like, that could have happened where I'm from.
Yeah. That's why I'm so scared of him because I'm just like,
Yeah.
I've passed by places that remind, like, that guy's somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's hard to give a straight answer, but if I had to pick one, I do still think it probably is Freddy. I just think we have an actor here that revels in it. I think they stay closest to the lore. He's not the most horrifying. He's not cerebral like the Candyman series. Like that movie makes you think a lot.
Yeah.
Where Todd, what's his name? Tony Todd plays him very almost poetic and Shakespearean. I think we just get the most out of Freddy. So that's why I'm going to say it. It's hard, though, because I like so many things about all these other ones. Michael Myers and Chucky are down on the list for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're down on the list.
I just feel like they're like I don't know. They're like a weird interpretation of horror. It's almost like horror for children is what I think of it as.
Yeah.
It's like entry-level horror.
Yeah.
I just don't like it.
Yeah, and I think also you have to look at like where the violence occurs. Like so much of Texas Chainsaw was off screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where I feel like that's the best place for a
Yes.
lot of violence.
Oh, 100%. You hit a point where the gore is just, it takes away.
Yes.
The noise of it.
Like the first person that Leatherface abducts in Texas Chainsaw in 1974, he shuts the door.
Yeah.
He pulls her in and then the first thing, and then you just hear the screams. You're like,
yeah. Because your imagination is so much worse.
Oh, yeah.
than
Always.
seeing anything.
Always.
Yep.
yeah.
And that's the cheapest thing you can do.
Mm-hmm.
My first foray into anything horror, as a lot of you know, I grew up very sheltered and Christian. So the first movie I ever saw, do you know who Frank Peretti is?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of the movies based on one of his books, I forget what it was called, but it was all about like spiders.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Arachnophobia?
No, but Leighton Meester was in it.
Oh my God, I love her from Gossip Girl.
And it's literally Christian horror.
Oh, wow.
Which
I almost
I
want to
heard-
watch that just to see what it is.
A pastor friend of my dad's heard about it and was like, Christian horror.
This is a fun category, and this is a hard one. I'm only going to leave it to 2 because based on my research, I think these are the 2 best to pit against each other because of their consistency in the franchise. Best final girl, Nancy or Laurie Strode from Halloween?
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah.
As a character, I like Jamie Lee Curtis's character more. So I'm going to go with her.
Yeah.
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 Oh, Nancy.
Nancy?
Oh my God, when she pulls out the coffee maker. You kidding? Am I messing this up?
That's
Coffee
cool.
maker?
No, you're not messing this up.
Am
You're
I messing
right.
up,
You
am I
could.
messing up the characters?
No,
Nancy
she
from
pulls
Freddy?
out the coffee maker after she's trying to get a hold of Glenn
Yeah.
because she's foiled the plan together.
Everything about this girl.
And she needs her dad to come in 20 minutes after she wakes up to wrestle Freddy.
Right.
So she puts the coffee maker out to keep herself awake.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Right,
Everything
okay.
because I think because she brings a lot of in the documentary she said she brings a lot of like who she was to the character, and I felt that like I guess she just reminds me a lot of me because she's just like this funny, like very self-starter. She's not bringing her mom into any of this.
Fair.
You know, and she's like, I'm just going to do it myself and drink coffee until I'm dead, I guess.
I don't know. I think Jamie Lee Curtis was such a better actor.
Yes.
In her role.
Yeah.
And like, I didn't ever hate Jamie Lee Curtis. I hated Nancy for the first 2/3 of this movie.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until the end that I was like, okay, she's cool. But nah, yeah, for me, it's Jamie Lee Curtis.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess I need to rewatch that too because I don't know if I'm giving a straight answer.
She's
but
definitely the best part of the movie.
She's
but
the
this
best part.
movie is better than the other one.
You took the words out of my
feel
mouth.
that.
I was going to say those exact words. She is the reason I love Halloween. Her and John Carpenter.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I feel that. I need to rewatch it. I don't feel like I'm doing that question justice.
You're knocking it out of the park, girl.
You're allowed to have your opinion.
I'm trying, and I just think Nancy would have been fun to hang out with, and she sounds like a good friend.
Fair.
You know? And she has this really thick hair that like is just beautiful.
Yeah, no, she is. No, she
Cool.
Yeah. I struggle with this too because like there are Nancy, okay, Heather Langenkamp is not a good actress.
No.
Okay. This is
love you, but
Agreed.
no.
love you.
I know.
And I also hear she's one of the sweetest.
I'm
I
sure.
know.
She's
Yeah.
right there with England. Like she
Could
loves
be editing.
Yeah, it could be. She loves
Could be the ADR as well.
Oh yeah.
she absolutely embraces her character. Like
Yeah.
she's just like Robert Englund. That she goes to Comic Cons and she's beloved. But there are, and it doesn't get better. She's in Future Entry. She's in New Nightmare, and like it just doesn't ever really get any better.
Yeah.
It's hard because there are moments where I'm like, she is the best. Like there are some scenes, like I love it when she's in the broiler room.
Mm-hmm.
But there are other moments where like she's being asked to have more.
Did you just say broiler room?
Is it boiler?
It is boiler.
Boiler. What's
You're not a broiler is the thing at the top of your oven that gets set to like 500 degrees.
I'm
and
sure there was
crisps shit up.
I'm sure there was a broiler in the boiler room because it was so hot.
Yeah. I'm over here just like, yeah, the broiler room. What
Yeah.
are you talking about? Of course it's the fucking broiler room.
I have
Matt West would be very disappointed.
I
in
have
you.
like 4 strokes an
Oh.
episode where I just say a random word.
Yeah, it happens.
and I'm just like over here like, yeah, it's a word.
Here's the thing. I've been doing this for 5 years, and when you talk as much as I do, you're gonna shit out some words.
Yeah.
They're not gonna make sense. It's just gonna happen. It's like
Thank God Seth's here.
it's the dirty laundry. I'm just
Yeah.
my brain is just recalibrating.
Yeah.
I feel that.
But back on the subject, she's great in the boiler room, but there are moments where she's being asked, like when she's telling her dad, like, I'm okay. Like after she goes in the room,
Yeah.
like after the mom dies,
Yeah.
and she's just like, I'm okay. Can I be alone? I'm like that was horrible.
Yeah.
There are just some unforgivable acting moments, whereas I feel like Jamie Lee Curtis is acting.
Yeah.
Oh, Jamie Lee Curtis is an insanely good actor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she,
Even in Christmas with the Cranks, she's fantastic.
yes.
Everything.
Yeah.
And
Oh my God.
as off the rails as Halloween got, I mean, they
Yeah.
just took every horrible turn. That's the closest he's ever gotten to me. As horrible, she was consistently good.
Yeah.
And even in Halloween H2O, which I think with LL Cool J as a horrible entry, she is still really fun.
Yeah.
Heather Langenkamp, though, like just still has moments where I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you couldn't do one more take.
Yeah.
Just one more.
I know.
But I also,
Unfortunately, sometimes when you're using actual film, you really
Yeah.
can't get one more take.
Good point.
but
Yeah.
like you kind of said, I finished the movie. I'm like, I love her.
Yeah.
I know.
I don't know why. I just still love her. I have such a big
Mm.
affinity for her in these movies, even though I acknowledge that so much of it is not good.
Yeah.
I know.
But I still got to just give a slight edge to Laurie Strode.
Yeah.
Laurie
Yeah.
Strode.
I feel that.
Yeah.
I get it.
Good
Well-
good valiant effort though.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're awesome.
I feel I will say I don't like the Halloween movies, but Jamie Lee Curtis is not the reason why.
Yeah.
No.
Not the reason why. She's the reason I would watch them.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, weirdly, it is kind of the villain. Like he
Yes.
Yeah.
I get the idea, and maybe it's different with a lot of women watching it where you can kind of internalize that being stalked feeling, but
Yeah.
it just I don't know, it never resonated with me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a reason why I didn't add anyone from like Friday the 13th because they're different every time.
Yeah.
And a lot of people do love the first two from the first two movies. They love the heroines. And then there's like the high end, which is Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah.
Like she.
Oh wow.
But that to me,
Yeah.
that's a different level of horror. That
Yes.
is A grade horror. This
Yes.
fits perfectly in that B grade sweet spot.
That's why I
Yeah.
didn't put anybody.
Yeah.
And there was just in Texas Chainsaw, like there's no consistent like I was looking for consistent
Yeah.
contributors in this genre.
yeah.
Best death in the movie.
Whew.
Ooh. For me, it's gonna be a tie between the first girl and Johnny Depp.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
both of those scenes were fantastically done.
really good.
Yeah, I was genuinely shocked by the hands coming up out of the bed.
You weren't expecting it?
Not at all. That was such a great moment for
Mhm.
me. I literally remember when that happened, I just yelled out by myself in the house. That was cool.
Yeah.
So
It
yeah,
was-
no, 100%. Yeah, it's a tie between those two.
Mm.
Oh my God. Okay. As you were saying them, I was thinking both of those. So I'm going to choose when the mom dies
Oh,
at the
okay, yeah.
end, and they throw the cover over her, and then they sink.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was crazy. That was very well done.
Yeah.
I've seen
Yeah.
that scene and I forgot about it, and then I saw it again, and I was like, "What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Amazing!
so good.
Wow!
Yeah, and it was shocking because it reminded you all of a sudden that the kids are just a pawn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yes, of course he wants to inflict pain by killing them, but he's after the parents.
Yeah, and she's a murderer too.
Yeah.
At the same time, like, and I love the whole. We haven't even touched on like the fact that the parents are vigilantes.
Oh yeah.
A group of vigilantes.
Yeah.
To kill a What is he? Was he a pedophile?
Yeah, but
they said child murderer. They
Okay.
never specified anything like that.
But what's funny is because they've rewritten, because they've re-released these movies so many times. When you look at the Apple Music description of this movie, they call him a pedophile, and even though they don't say it in the movie, it was always in the background. And I think they felt like it would have pushed the apple cart really far.
Yeah, that probably would have brought it into like NC-17 X rating territory.
Yeah.
And they open it up over the course, like they call him the son of either 1,000 maniacs or 100 maniacs eventually, because they show that he was actually the product of like a nun being raped by all these insane asylum people. They really push the lore, and then then the child pedophile thing. In the remake, which is one of the worst movies ever made, Michael Bay's company remade it. The same company that made the Texas Chainsaw remake, which is actually pretty beloved.
Oh.
Yeah.
They just right on the nose. Pedophile. Like it's just and it's in your face the whole remake. Which is one of the reasons why it's also really bad. But So what do you think? Best death?
Oh, the mother.
Yeah, the
mother. Okay, yeah. Definitely. Sorry. I know it's cliche, but the Johnny Depp one, same as you.
So good.
First time I saw it. What's funny is you can find the outtake. There's an outtake where originally they wanted him to come out of the bed.
Yeah.
Oh, completely.
Yes, and he's drenched, but it's like all that blood, and he's still just a whole body. He's a whole person. I thought he was like in a blender.
I know. Yeah.
That would have made sense. But I didn't expect it, and when the blood starts coming out, it was just so original, so shocking.
Yeah. That was Shining level craziness.
It was.
It was the way it came out of the bed.
Yeah.
I love that they turned the room upside down to do it.
Yeah, and it really shows too, like the it's not really a critique, but one thing that makes these movies difficult to understand what's happening is the whole movie is filmed almost like a dream.
Yeah.
The actors and the characters are acting aloof, the parents, and it's partly by design. Like the parents are supposed to be aloof because they're the ones that killed Freddy. So they're kind of acting like, oh, nothing bad ever happens on this street ever.
Yeah.
Except when we killed the guy and threw him in the incinerator. The pedophile guy. But other than that, it's a great neighborhood. Good schools.
Yeah.
The Zillow score is like a 9.
Yeah.
And
walkability is like a 9.5.
And there's a Jimmy John's. They're going to open a Jimmy John. We killed Freddy. They're going to open a Jimmy John's just down the street. Property value. Sorry, I went way off that, but yes, it's such a good, and that's something that sticks around in this series. They get cheesy throughout the series, but this is something you can say is true of every Freddy movie. Yeah. There's going to be a funny or interesting or unique. There's one, I mean, I don't want to spoil it too much, but there's one where the kid loves comic books, and Freddy turns him into a piece of comic book paper and cuts him, and he's cutting the comic book, and so he's bleeding out color.
Oh, interesting. I kind of love that.
I think it's 5 or 6, and
that's cool.
There's just they don't always work, but you love the effort.
Yeah, if the idea is there, sometimes I can forgive the execution.
Absolutely. Yeah. So anyway, that's my favorite death in a series, and this is like what you do when you talk about these movies. You talk about the deaths. 2 more questions before we get to the closer. Is Freddy more scary or more funny?
In this, he's more scary.
Okay.
I can't speak for later entries, but for this, the humor was creepy.
Yeah.
So it's not that he was funny; it's that I could see him almost in like a Joker position where he was making jokes because it's creepy.
I'm your boyfriend now.
Yeah. Yeah. Not once did I get taken out of the movie because something was weird.
Yeah. What do you think?
Okay, so for the first part of the movie, I thought he was very funny, and he actually reminded me. Did y'all watch All That when you were kids?
Yeah. On Nickelodeon.
Do you remember the girl who played Ross Perot?
Mm-hmm.
No, but that's amazing.
With the nose? Like the nose, yeah.
So he reminded me of the girl who played Ross Perot at the very beginning of the movie because he's a little sillier, and then his voice changes throughout, and he gets really scary at the end, though, which I feel like is the reason why I couldn't sleep.
Gonna bleed you slow.
Yeah, and like I feel like I wish that they had made him a little bit. I honestly wish they hadn't shown him as much at the beginning. I think he would have been more scary.
Yeah,
and the arms thing, I kind of think they should have just cut that or done it. Oh,
that's my favorite scene.
Really?
Oh, I love the arms.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on
it's
that.
It's because I can tell it's fake. It's his body. You can just tell it's so fake.
Yeah.
But it's also that dream-like. Could it have been executed better? Yes.
Okay.
That is one of those things, though, where the idea overtook the execution for me.
Okay.
And I think they're trying to show that he's a shapeshifter.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also, I get what you're saying. I think, too, was his face in the dark? Like, they kind of kept his face not illuminated.
And then only for like the first 20 minutes, though.
Yeah.
Afterwards, it just all went into the light. Yeah. And like you, I'm like, they could have waited longer.
Yeah, you're right. They kind of get him in there early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'd already had Jaws to learn from, too. Like, there's no excuse.
Right? That's what I kept mentioning was like, they don't have to show him.
Yeah.
Like, they could just be shadows and noises.
I wonder if they spent so much on the makeup, they felt like they had to.
Yeah.
That sometimes happens.
Yeah, I get that.
And they had to pay to even consider Charlie Sheen.
Well, I know that, like, some people were mad at Nosferatu for not showing more of Count Orlok.
Oh, really? I still haven't seen the remake.
It's really fucking good.
I'm waiting until we cover it.
Yeah. Which it's on the list for next year.
Yeah.
But
oh my God.
For me, that was actually the scariest part of it was you only got glimpses and bits and pieces until like there's like one shot near the beginning, but it's so quick you can't even register what you're seeing. And then it's not till probably halfway through the movie that you see him because he's laying in the coffin.
And he's a vampire, so he's fast, and you shouldn't see him.
Yeah. So, but like, I knew some people who were like, "What an insult to the makeup department." I'm like, no, they probably understood what the fuck was going to happen.
Oh, I'm sure they were ashamed to be working on an Eggers film.
Yeah, with one of the best looking vampires that's been put out in the last 50 years.
I can't wait to cover it.
Yeah, they're like, I sent my invoice in. I'm fine.
Yeah, he's a good. So for me, he's a good balance here. I like the humor and like. It's crazy. It costs $5 to do the phone thing. Like
I love the phone. I think she took it home with her.
Yeah,
that's great.
$5 prop to do that.
Amazing.
It's one of my favorite scenes. Like when he licks her lips and says, "I'm your boyfriend now." Like to me, it was funny and creepy.
Yeah,
like I was like, like it was kind of both at the same time.
Yeah, there
are moments. There is a point in the series where he pretty much becomes, it's like 80-20. He's 80% funny and sometimes scary, but there's one, like, I think Freddy's dead. I just don't even remember registering him being scary. Like, just like, he was so laughable. He was so commercial and played out. And I think that's one of the reasons Wes Craven kind of backed off the series. Like, it just took on such a hilarity that it just wasn't believable as a scary film anymore. Yeah. Which is why he made Scream, because he was kind of like, this is kind of my point of view on this genre, and almost made it meta and laughable.
Nice.
But this one, it's a good balance. Like, I think each line you could look at as comedic and creepy.
Yeah.
And before we get to the closer, we'll go to the three main. I'm going to stick to the mains. Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween. Is this the best first entry?
Yes.
How come?
Friday the 13th, I just thought was a dog shit movie in general.
Yeah.
The fact that the villain isn't even in the movie really actually pissed me the fuck off when I watched it last year. So not even Kevin Bacon could save that movie for me.
What do you mean? Like, because the villain?
Like Jason, he's not in the movie.
Well, but you have to remember, though, when it came out, no one knew what Jason was going to become. That was a decision that was made after the first. Like,
fair.
I'm just telling you, you're thinking of it posthumously.
No, I'm not, because I've never seen a single other one.
I know, but I'm just saying at the time that it came out, no one had any idea that Jason existed.
Still would have pissed me off.
That the mom was the villain? So
yes.
You're mad the mom is the villain?
Yeah.
Because I'm just saying at that time, she was the villain. No one knew Jason Voorhees was going to wear a hockey mask.
Yeah, that pissed me off.
Okay.
Yeah. Then I don't care about any other entry. I'm talking about is that movie specifically. The fact that he is the one that is being referred to for the whole movie, and it turns out it's just the mom.
Okay.
Bullshit. Fuck that.
Okay.
Halloween was just overall boring as shit for me. The
Yeah.
only good thing about that movie legitimately was Jamie Lee Curtis. The kids were annoying as shit. Her friends were annoying as shit. Michael Myers was just there. Wasn't terrifying to me at all.
Yeah.
This hit the fun element, the scary element, the visual effects element.
Sure.
Even the worst acting was better than the acting in most of the in the other two movies for me. So no, it's hands down. This is way better than any of the other ones.
Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, agreed. Oh my God. Like, I feel like what Halloween didn't do right with Michael Myers not being scary.
Yeah.
Like Freddy got right.
Yeah.
Because like he was creepy enough. And then the fact that he comes to you in your dreams. And I feel like there's all these elements that make it so real for everybody.
Yeah.
That it actually, I don't know. It's just so, I don't know what the right word for it is. I was just so impressed with it. Despite the acting being subpar, which usually bothers me a lot and takes me very far out of the plot. Like I was still very locked into it. So I think that says a lot for how like
agreed
how well they executed at least the editing.
Yeah. I agree, and I would eventually fall in love with the Friday the 13th franchise. But I'm with you for different reasons. I just didn't love the first one.
Yeah.
But once Jason starts to like get momentum, even though the lore is all over the place, once you eliminate caring about lore, they're just fun.
Honestly, the Friday the 13th would have been saved for me if you think the mom's the villain right up until the last 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I didn't even need the whole movie of Jason. I needed that 5 minutes where you find out, no, she's actually protecting him from everyone else. And then he comes out and he kills the last person.
Yeah.
That would have made that whole movie acceptable for me.
Yeah. And with Halloween, I agree. It's so funny how, like, when I rewatched, I bought and it's a really good 4K. I mean, as a film lover, like, the history of Halloween is really interesting. And there's a great 4K with all this, like a documentary. But it was more interesting than the movie itself.
Yeah.
Jamie Lee Curtis is great. And that is where they said all these other characters are going to be dingbats. And that decision, like, that's my one thing is, like, even though it's kind of brainless fun, I'm like, I want someone to challenge.
Yeah.
Someone with a brain.
Well, like, from the first moment of this, I thought it was going to be everyone's stupid making the wrong decisions. Because that opening shot after Freddy puts everything on, the opening shot is the girl running away from an open door.
Yeah.
Into deeper and deeper and deeper. And every choice she makes, she goes deeper and deeper. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, so this is just going to be about morons. But then I remembered, oh, wait, no, this is a dream.
Yeah.
And in a dream, you make all the wrong decisions.
Yeah.
So it's like it made the wrong choices acceptable for me versus in Halloween. It's just like, why the fuck are you going upstairs? Go out the front door, go into the street, yell, and people will come and find you.
Yeah. Yeah, the only dumb decision you can make in this movie is going to sleep.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's inevitable.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know, man. I talk to people all the time that are just worship Halloween, and I get it. I get how important it is. Yeah. And I respect John Carpenter so much as a composer and a writer and a director. I think he's fantastic. But I think it's one instance where I think the nostalgia and the memory around it may be greater than the movie itself.
Which I will say, it was the 70s. Yeah. Serial killers were the big fear of the time.
Yes.
So I can get being immersed in all of that and the weirdness behind someone like Ted Bundy or Jeffrey Dahmer or any of those situations. That was all new. And so I get how that in that moment might have been crazy scary. Doesn't live up the way Nightmare does.
Yeah, and that was exactly why they made it. Yeah. They made Halloween because of all that. Like that paranoia is what drove them to make it. And
which is why I still think it's better than Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me. I also want to point out, whenever people that I know like Halloween as a movie, they're not usually horror movie people.
That's a good point.
And I think it's because they like that it's just scary enough for a regular person.
But it's not gross.
Yeah.
Some of the kills are kind of gruesome, though.
Yeah.
The hanger closet one?
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, they go there, but like...
it's still theater of the mind.
True.
Yeah. So I think it's like, maybe that's what he was trying to do, is like make it more for the masses.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so much of those movies happen in the darkness. But this is like he's in your dreams. So there's color.
Yeah.
And there's, like
Christmas color.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Michael Myers is always in the dark. And Jason's like randomly teleporting to wherever you are in the dark woods. Freddy's like, we're going to do it in your dreams, in the light, in the boiler room, the broiler, wherever you are. And so, all right, closer here. Who won or what won the movie for you, and who or what lost the movie for you?
What won the movie for me was the special effects.
Yeah.
100%. That was the best part. And the thing that lost it for me was the music. The music is the only thing I would say, just scrap it, put something else in there. And
sure.
Would have been better. But the special effects were so fucking good.
So good.
Oh my God.
Practical.
Yeah.
So good.
Even the cartoonish stuff wasn't bad for the time.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. The blood room. Like, that just won it completely for me. The constructed blood room, and the fact that the whole crew got like soaked in blood. That's amazing.
That's what you want when you work on a horror movie. You want to come out of there soaked in blood.
Yeah.
I love it.
I love that. And then what lost, I mean, I don't want to say the same thing that you said, but the music was so bad.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's so weird.
If that's the problem you have
I love it so much. It's so weird to think that.
It's the only thing that
it took me out of it.
Yeah.
That's what I hate. This is what I hate when I'm watching movies is that the hardest thing for me, and this is why I love horror movies, because it's the only time I can check out and really check into somewhere else, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And the music took me out so much.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I love
And it dates it for me. That's what makes me feel like they're in the 80s more than the clothes or the hair or anything about the house. Yeah.
You know what won it for me? The music. I'm just kidding. No.
You're just proving my point about your taste.
And my age. I love the music.
You know who should have done the music? The Deftones.
The Deftones.
Bringing it back, y'all.
The Deftones.
I love the Deftones.
Careful, don't say that. The internet will destroy you for saying the Deftones.
The Deftones are great.
L Deftones.
Yeah.
L
He got
Deftones.
lambasted for one of the Crow movies. Yeah.
I can put the in front of any word that I want.
Yeah.
This is my podcast.
The
so
Krogers.
I love the Nightmare on Elm
I
Street.
go to the Kroger's all the time.
Yeah. When you're from Arkansas, every store is plural. Walmart's,
Yeah.
Kroger's, it's plural.
Yeah.
What won it for me is I'm going to say Robert Englund.
Okay.
I think
Oh, yeah.
I just think this genre is still kind of new to people. I mean, 79 Halloween is kind of when it was born, and I think
When did Friday the 13th come out?
80.
80. Okay. It felt like 75.
Yeah, I'll double check that.
That's how bad that movie was for me. I thought it was a mid 70s horror movie.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. It dated itself even more.
So much.
Yep, original Friday the 13th was 80, and then Halloween, just to make sure I'm good on that. 78. I was
Okay.
1 year off. 78. I don't know why I said 79, but I just love that this genre was it was reserved for quiet, stalking, voiceless people, and then here we're like, nah, we're gonna talk. We're going to crack jokes. And they cast the perfect guy. And even you can say anything you want about how bad the later entries are. He carries this franchise. He's beloved. And I just think it was a huge risk to say, no, we're going to have a joke cracking like murderer of children. And we're going to somehow make you like him too.
Yeah.
Like you can't help but kind of like, I kind of like him.
Yeah. I do kind of like him.
Yeah. You kind of like him.
Yeah.
Michael Myers, you're like, I don't like that.
No.
Oh, no.
Jason Voorhees, like, oh, he's so violent.
I know.
Side note, I guess 78 may have actually been the birth of this genre because I Spit on Your Grave came out the same year.
Oh, yeah.
Which I will never watch that movie again. That was horrible to watch. Incredibly well-made movie. One of the best revenge stories I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Don't need to watch that one again.
Yeah.
That one was hard.
What?
But 78, came out the same year.
Yeah. And what lost it for me, I'll say just the inconsistency of Heather Langenkamp.
Yeah.
I think she's a step above pretty much every other heroine, though, minus Jamie Lee Curtis in Friday the 13th. She's nowhere close to Sigourney on the scale.
Yeah.
Oof. No one is.
But again, that's a whole other level.
That's a whole other level. That's Ridley Scott level.
Yeah.
But she...
I'd put Sarah Connor up in that area.
Oh, Sarah
Yeah.
Connor. Linda Hamilton's my girl. She's
Oh
up
my
there.
God.
She's right there with Sigourney.
Yeah.
I want their arms. Both.
Oh,
With
I
their
know.
arms.
Creatine.
I do take creatine. I do take creatine.
But do you take Terminator creatine?
I tried.
Yeah, it's really expensive. Yeah, James Cameron's 7th wife sells Terminator creatine
There we go.
on the webs. But yeah, there were moments where I'm like, man, I think Heather Langenkamp might be the best heroine ever. And then there's other moments where I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe that made it to the final cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's so weird. I just love her.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, even though some of her lack of range, like in like that scene where the mom dies, she's like, I'm okay, just leave me alone. I'm just like, oh, that was bad.
Yeah.
Your mom just got choked to death on fire by the guy that she killed.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm fine. It's like, Heather, come on, man.
Granted, I do feel like to defend that moment specifically,
Yeah.
she knew he was still there.
Yep. And everything feels like a dream.
Yeah.
Like you just emotionally can't commit too much
Yeah.
because everything's aloof.
I won't
Yeah.
defend the acting per se, but I will
Right.
defend the emotion of that moment where she knew he was still in the room.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. The war zone. Let's
Here we
close this
go.
thing out. What do you say? Rapid fire. Each host goes through 4 categories all at one time. It's going to be acting, directing, writing, and the film composition. We used to call it what's in front of us.
We're
but
going to
that's-
write it down. You should
Yes.
write it down on the screen.
It's the
That's what to say.
It's everything mechanical. It's the graphics. It's the editing. It's the music. It's all the things that don't get covered by the first
Everything
3.
you see and hear that isn't writing or acting.
Seth.
Acting, it's going to be just a barely squeak over for me.
Mhm.
It was fine. None of other than Robert Englund, none of the performances really struck me as anything special, but also as bad as Heather, what was her name? Heather Langenkamp?
Langenkamp.
As
Mhm.
bad as she could get at times, it wasn't bad enough for me to say it was terrible. So it's a squeak over for a yes for me. Writing, once again, I'll say a scotch over, just a little bit above a squeak. It's again, nothing crazy good, but nothing bad at all writing wise. The story holds up very well. I appreciated how much the twists and turns really continuously surprised me. Directing, and I'll throw Bob Shea in there as well for producing. Like, you could tell they both had, as much as they could butt heads, a shared vision of what needed to happen to make this movie good. And I think it really came through. You really see the passion from both of them coming through and making this such a beloved film. Composition, that's where I think it thrives. As bad as the music was, everything else overshadowed it for me. Special effects are incredible. The cinematography was genuinely some of the best I've seen for this genre of horror movie before, especially for that time period. All of it, the sets, everything just pulled me into this world. So overall, it is a full queen sweep yes for me, but only 2 scotches and squeaks.
Won the war.
Yeah.
I had to write down the categories to make sure that I cover them right. I just don't want them to do
it's
it
all
wrong.
Good.
And I want to keep them succinct, in a way.
You're so principled.
I try to be. I try not to waste people's time. The acting was very mid, despite I love Nancy, just like as a person. I just feel like that, to me, makes the writing and the rest of it so much stronger because, like, they were barely doing their jobs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the writing was kind of amazing, just in the fact that, I don't know, I liked how it all came together at the end. The directing, I feel like, I don't know how to separate all this out in my head. I feel like, I don't know. I love how it ended up at the end. So I feel like the directing was very, very strong. But I don't know how to, I don't know. I feel like I'm better at talking about composition and stuff like that.
Well, then move on to it.
We'll move on to
the way I look at directing is just decision making.
Yeah.
Like the decisions that were made.
I liked the decisions that were made.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like there was a lot of strong decisions, especially in making it all dreamy.
Yeah.
And then with the composition and the cinematography, like, that's what sold it the most for me. Like, I felt like I was in a fever dream the whole time. And again, like, I can't tell you, when you told me that this was the movie we were watching, I was like, oh no. But because, like, I trust you as a person, I was like.
But I hadn't seen it either. I thought it was going to be one of the bad ones.
Yeah, I was like, I'm going to give it a try, and I'm going to, and I don't like to judge things before I see them.
Yeah.
I really don't. And I don't like to. But the cinematography and all of that really brought it together for me. So fever dream all the way.
Yeah.
Is that all the categories?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, crushed it. Acting, even though I complain about some of it, I'm never taken out.
Yeah.
Like we've covered movies on this podcast where I'm like,
we've covered podcasts on this movie.
We've covered podcasts on this radio Sirius XM thing. It's funny, even though I poke fun at it, it's part of the genre. Yeah. It's almost like you have to have some of the bad acting because that's what people enjoy about it.
Yeah.
I was never taken out, even though I can poke fun at Heather. I love her. I love Nancy. I think Nancy's one of the greatest horror movie characters of all time. Yeah. So I give it a resounding, for the genre, it crushed it. In terms of writing, I think it's written really well. I know going in, I'm not looking for Scorsese toward Tarantino level. I know what I'm getting. If you walk into this and walk out saying, "Oh, this is so horribly written," it's like you don't understand the genre, the purpose. You just don't get it. I think Freddy's lines and the balance of creepiness and comedy is so well done here. It's a resounding yes. Directing. Wes Craven, I disagree that he is the prince of horror, whatever they call him, or whatever they've labeled him in the past. I think outside of this and Scream, he's pretty inconsistent. The moment he tried to do drama, he did that music movie with Meryl Streep. It was horrific. The moment he tried to do anything.
Wait, did he do A Star Is Born?
Not A Star Is Born. He did I'm trying to remember what it was called. He did it was horrible.
Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia. The moment.
He did Mamma Mia?
No, she's just making a joke.
Wouldn't that be insane?
That would be amazing.
That's so funny.
It's like Joel Schumacher did Phantom of the Opera. So, I mean, I wouldn't put it past certain directors.
Yes. But I do think here he's at his best. I think this is great. I think Scream is great. And I think there are franchises where he really shines. And I think there's some stuff he's done where he really drops off. But I think in terms of the decisions made with the limited budget, the partnership between him and Bob Shaye, I give it a resounding, this is fantastic piece of work as a director. In terms of film composition, I probably have to go above what you guys said because I liked the music.
Yeah.
The music's I love during the documentary just watching the composer just kind of do the outline. Like, this is how I came up with it. Just right hand up there in the upper register. And I'm like, I love that. It's just Locrian mode. But for those that don't know the Locrian mode, the 7th scale degree doesn't resolve, which the first 6 modes, they all resolve, which is why the Locrian mode is actually a theoretical. It doesn't actually exist in some people's mind as a scale degree. There's a little music theory for you. But anyway, it sounds like Locrian. Unresolved 7th.
My ex-girlfriend's cat was named Locrian.
That's amazing. Yeah, unresolved 7th. Yeah. Go ahead.
I feel like y'all just made that word up.
No, it's a real thing.
Yeah, it's the 7th. Yeah. It's the 7th scale degree.
Yeah,
or the 7th mode.
Google it.
It's a mode built on the 7th scale degree.
Yeah.
But anyway, I love the music, so I actually think whatever's above what you said is yes. It's a resounding.
So you're at a fuck ton.
A fuck ton.
Oh yeah.
I'm loving the effects, especially when you consider the budget and there's no CGI, there's no claymation. Future entries will have some claymation.
Very mild cartoon.
Very
animation.
mild. Yeah. There's some. Yeah.
Where it was necessary.
Where he fades out. Yeah. But I'm just loving it. I'm loving everything. Give me more. And if I'm saying this is the first entry, do I want to watch more? The answer is hell yes.
Absolutely.
Give me more Freddy. So, wow.
Yes is all across the board.
Woo! Yeah.
Woo! Maybe it's a dream on Elm Street.
Yeah.
Is really. Oh.
Come back next week. We're doing the Babadook, and we have some pretty great announcements to make for you guys. That's going to be changing the future of movie wars. So come back next week. We love you guys.
We're your boyfriend now.
Absolutely.
I'm Kyle.
I'm Seth.
I'm Marianna.
See you next week.
The Movie Wars.